I remember it like it was yesterday, hopping on a boat first thing in the morning, driving through the mountains, and I think I'm getting ahead of myself. In October of 2018, I took my camper, left New Brunswick with full intentions of reaching the West Coast.
I came from the mud, there's dirt on my hands, strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law, hope they won't shoot me down soon.
This is that story. It is pouring rain, so I'm definitely not getting the pictures I wanted today, but the lady at Sam's drew a smiley face on my coffee. The first leg was to get from New Brunswick through Quebec to Ontario. So it is just before 8 a.m. here in Ottawa. I decided I was going to get up early, eat before coffee, and go take some pictures of the Rideau Canal. I remember the first real notable time spent on the trip was at Algonquin Park. I had traveled from New Brunswick through Quebec, spent a couple days in Ottawa taking pictures, but I landed in Algonquin and was just astounded by how big it was, by how wide even Ontario is. And I took some pictures, went on a hike, and all the while I was upset that I couldn't use my drone. I wanted to take my drone out and use it, but it being illegal in national parks, I just left it in the truck. So I get to the top of this lookout, and there's this guy that zips open his bag. He pulls out this massive box, and he pulls out a Mavic drone. And I'm like, okay, so this is how it's gonna go. And he flies it up and takes some undoubtedly amazing pictures. And I leave as he's packing it away, just bitter, because I didn't want to. I honestly didn't want to see the pictures he had gotten because I wanted to be the one taking the pictures. And I took my time, again, taking pictures through the forest, and I ended up landing back in the parking lot after him, where he, again, was flying his drone in the parking lot over top of the lake. And bitter, again, I went to my truck and hopped in. And sitting there eating a protein bar, I remember seeing the Orange Ranger's truck pull up, and this peace officer getting out, and she was pissed. And she stomped right over and she chastised him. She was like, "You know how illegal it is to fly a drone here, how dangerous it can be." And the guy hardly spoke any English, and all he could say was, I sorry. And I felt so bad. But at the same time, I was like, you're getting your comeuppance. And I remember he put it away, and she waltzed back to her truck and wrote him up a ticket. And she said, "Here, you have to pay this. It's $120 or $130 fine that he got." And I wasn't terribly bitter that I didn't get to fly my drone the rest of that day. I left the park and continued on through Ontario, and I remember I was just along this curve of this road, and I thought it'd be really cool to throw the drone up, get some pictures, since I'd wanted to all day. And I did, and I got one of my favorite pictures that I've ever taken. It was just by accident that I put it up, and it was a couple hundred feet up, and I noticed that on one side of the road was all the fall colors, and on the other side was evergreen trees. So you can see just a division of trees, and it's still to this day one of my favorite pictures I've ever taken. There's not much footage between New Brunswick and Manitoba, Saskatchewan, really, because I got to Saskatchewan and one of my discs was corrupt. And I remember I was leaving Manitoba and trying to edit some photos and some video, and the disc was unreadable. I plugged it in my computer and nothing. I plugged it into another computer and nothing. Plugged my camera and it just killed my camera, froze it. And so a lot of this story, photographically, at least, or the video of it starts in Manitoba, which was really my first stop, if you will, on the way across the country, because that's where my uncle
Try to
lives.
catch me howling at the moon.